Hello friends, Namaste. Today's topic is spiritual quotient. We have always talked about intellectual quotient. The society, the friends, the teachers, they all have, from our childhood, they all have talked about something called intellectual quotient. But we have not explored the existence of any other quotients. Is intellectual quotient is the only quotient that is existing, or are there any other quotients? And if yes, what are their importance and what is their utility? So this topic is to explore the existence of other quotients along with intellectual quotient and the use and utility of those quotients. So let us first go into the presentation. Spiritual quotient. At the very beginning, I am defining spiritual quotient as EQ plus IQ, where EQ is emotional quotient and IQ is intellectual quotient. See, we all exist at three levels. One is at the level of the body, the second is at the level of the mind, and the third is at the level of the heart. So the body represents our actions. The mind represents our thoughts. So mind is our thinking body. So it's a thinking machine. All ideas, all brilliant ideas we generate through our mind. At the level of the heart are our emotions. We have both positive emotions and negative emotions. We have positive thoughts and negative thoughts. And we also do positive actions as well as negative actions through our body. Heart, head, and hand are not three different things. They are not three different compartments. They are all interconnected. Feeling, thinking, and action are not three different things. They are not three different departments. They are all interconnected. Emotions, thoughts, and actions are not three different things. They are three different forms of the same energy, because thought is an energy. Even according to science, thought is an energy. The emotions are moving in the heart. The thoughts are moving in the mind. And these emotions and thoughts manifest through the body as actions. The emotions in the heart trigger as thoughts in the mind, and the same thoughts manifest through the body as actions. One can slap somebody with the hand, or one can shake somebody's hand with the same hand. One can abuse somebody through the words, or one can express gratitude towards somebody with the same words. So it all depends on us as to how we use our thought energy. A thought is an object. It is an energy. And this object creates its own world. It creates its own space-time. It creates its own world of thoughts. It creates a world of the mind. And this mind can be transformed into a creative mind. A moving thought is a space. A moving thought is a time. A mind, therefore, is a space-time object. The mind is a space of moving thoughts, and a moving mind creates an illusion of time. So every individual, he or she, is a mind universe in itself. The thoughts are like particles. These are moving in the mind at different energy levels. They have their own properties, position, speed, energy, etc. The thoughts are moving in the space of the mind, and these thoughts create their own world of the mind. And these thoughts, past, present, and future, create the mind. The past, present, and future are the three dimensions of the thought object, and the space and time is the fourth dimension. The past time is our memory, the present time is the time that we are living now at this very moment, and the future time is our imagination. And the sum of all this is nothing but our mind. Our mind is nothing but a four-dimensional subjective world. If the past is responsible for the present, then with the same analogy, the present will also be responsible for the future. Therefore, the whole objective is to create a world of positive actions and creative actions. See, we always bring this kind of argument that if something bad happens or a good happens, we say that this is because of our past karma. Or let's say, again with the same logic, if something good happens or bad happens, we say it is because of my destiny. But let us apply the above logic. If the past is responsible for the present, then with the same analogy, the present will also be responsible for the future. So there is no point in brooding over the past. We cannot undo it. We cannot change the past. It has happened. So whatever that we can do with the present. So the point is, can we act with our present consciously? And as a consequence, we can change our future. So these are the three levels at which we function. Every individual, every human being functions at these three quotients. The first is what I'm calling an emotional quotient, where heart is the core center of this quotient. Then the second center is what I'm saying, the thinking center or the thinking machine or the mind center. So it is an intellectual quotient. This determines our intellectual quotient. And the third that what I'm saying is the spiritual quotient. And this is the very center of our being. And this center is a representative of the quality of our being called the soul. So this is how we exist at three levels. One is at the level of the heart, which I'm calling an emotional quotient. So the health of our emotional quotient determines our happiness quotient. So our heart center is a reservoir of love and empathy. So but at the level of the heart, what we have is the negative emotions and positive emotions. So when these positive emotions and negative emotions trigger to the mind as thoughts, so these negative emotions and positive emotions, they become positive thoughts and negative thoughts at the level of the mind. And same thoughts at the level of the mind trigger towards the body for actions. So same positive thoughts and negative thoughts, they become positive actions and negative actions. So what is it that we can do at these three levels? So this is where mindfulness and meditation comes to our rescue. So it is a powerful tool. It's a powerful method to transform one into the other. So when we act mindfully at the level of our emotions, our negative emotions transform into positive emotions. And when we are mindful at the level of our mind, when we are mindful at the level of our thinking, then the negative thoughts transform into positive thoughts, and our positive thoughts transform into positive actions. So at the level of the body, when we are mindful, our negative actions transform into positive actions. So we have these three levels, and we have a choice. We have a short span of time. So we can, with mindfulness, we can delay this action. If something is not transformed at the level of the heart, we still have a choice to transform them at the level of the mind. And if these are not transformed at the level of the mind, we still have a little time to transform them at the level of the body. But at the level of the body, if we translate our negative thoughts into negative actions, then they have their own consequences. So our choice is to transform the negative into the positive. And what happens then at the level of the soul? So when we transform our positive thoughts through mindfulness, we will be capable of experiencing a state of silence. Please understand, the whole story is like the ocean and the waves. So the emotions and thoughts are like waves. They are constantly interacting with a field called silence. Emotions are like waves and thoughts are like particles. They both are same. They are not different. Thoughts, emotions, and actions are not different. They are three aspects of the same energy. They manifest, they appear to us as different at three levels of witnessing, at three levels of observation. We find them as different, but they are same, one and the same. So these thoughts, emotions are continuously interacting with a field called silence. And as mindfulness and meditation deepens, these thoughts and emotions subside, and we come across of a state called silence. And in a silent state of our being, we experience a kind of freedom from the past. We experience freedom from prejudices. We experience freedom from conditioning. We experience freedom from concepts. And we suddenly come in contact with something that is existential, something that is living. So, soul is not a physical thing that we are looking into. It is more a psychological thing. There is a layer beyond that when we transcend our psychology, because this is our mind universe. Scientists are talking about a physical universe, a four-dimensional physical universe. But within that universe, we have what is called a mind universe. So mind is also a space-time object. So the thoughts in the mind creates its own mind universe. And mindfulness helps to transcend this mind universe. And through this transcendence, we come in contact with what is called soul. So in a silent state of our being, there is every possibility that we come in contact with that freedom, which is what is called the very center of our being. Let us take again the example of the water in a pond. Let's say if there are waves in that pond, and if we look into that water, we will not see a picture there. So the whole picture is distorted, or the whole picture is disturbed. And when the waters are totally silent, when there are absolutely no waves in that water, and when we look into that water surface acts like a mirror, and we see we see in that mirror our own picture. The story is similar. This is just an example. So when our state of our being is stirred because of the waves of thoughts and emotions, the silent state of the being is disturbed, and in that disturbance we cannot see our true glimpse. We cannot see our true picture. And when this silence deepens, we come in contact with what is called that undifferentiated consciousness. So the witness sees itself without any distortion, and that state is what I'm calling the state of the soul. So this state is the state of our Sachitananda. So it is filled with what is called truthfulness and bliss. So at the level of the heart, if that heart is filled with positive emotions, then that purified heart, is a reservoir of happiness. It is a reservoir of love and empathy. And at the level of the mind, if that mind is filled with positive thoughts, then that mind is constantly evolving, and it is constantly hankering for higher knowledge. It is always seeking for higher knowledge. So that quotient is indicative of knowledge and wisdom. So the mind center is representative of knowledge and wisdom, and the soul center is representative of bliss and truthfulness. So that is it today, friends. So hope this topic was interesting. Thank you for listening. Thank you so much.